Welcome. It's the Cats Out on intellectualradio.com, and it's another week, and we're here ready to let the cat out the bag. Woo! I'm feeling myself. You know, today's show is going to be hot. You know what? I say this every week, and I know you guys are like, okay, you say it every week. The show keeps getting better and betterer. Parquet. You know what? We're going to have Parquet endorse us because we like butter over here. Right. Hot. Today's show, listen, I'm going to jump right into it. We have motivational speaker, Mamie Brown's baby boy.
Hey,
Mr. Les Brown calling into the show today.
Wow.
If you've ever even imagined being a motivational speaker, and as much as I talk, I feel I could get paid for speaking. As a matter of fact, we got Mr. Les Brown calling in right now. And if you've ever imagined being a motivational speaker, on today's show, you would definitely learn all of the steps, all of the secrets to being a professional, high-paid speaker.
Yes.
So we're tuning in, but what we're going to do is we're going to really just take a quick break. Music break. We're gonna come right back. But when we come back, we're coming back with Mamie Brown's baby boy, Mr. Motivational Speaker Les Brown, ready to let the cat out the bag.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams, the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel free and lost at the same time. Feels like I'm gonna lose my mind. Living every day like it's my last. Living in the truth I learned from the past. I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Cadillac house, Cadillac dreams, Cadillac world, everybody's name. If you got a problem, money can't solve it. Government scheming, gangsters, leading crackheads, feeding them is thieving, so just bleeding.
Welcome back. It's the Cats Out on intellectualradio.com, and I'm so excited to let the cat out the bag. We got Mr. Les Brown with us today. I'm talking about Mamie Brown's baby boy with us on today.
All right.
And stay tuned, because when we hear from Mr. Brown, he's going to tell us exactly what it takes to become that motivational speaker, what has inspired him to become a motivational speaker. And if you too have ever had the dream of speaking and becoming a paid speaker, you definitely want to hear from Mr. Brown, because we about to let the cat out the bag. All right, Mr. Brown, Les Brown, are you there, sir? And can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Oh my God. Mr. Brown, we are first of all so excited to have you on the show today. And let me ask you to do this for us because it's just a tradition. We need a roar, we need a meow, we need something from you. Can you give us a meow, a roar, or something? Meow! I love it. Mr. Brown, tell me,
Yes.
who are you? Where did you come from? And how did you get here?
That's a good question. Well, I was born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother. And when we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. I used to have a talk show in 1992, and I used to end my show by saying, "This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy." So
Wow.
I was labeled educable mentally retarded when I was in the 5th grade and put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade at Douglas Elementary School in Overtown, and fell again when I was in the 8th grade at Booker T. Washington High School. But I had a high school teacher that I had the honor to eulogize just about 3 months ago, who said to me that someone's opinion of me does not have to become my reality. And that set me on another trajectory in terms of what I wanted to do with my life and things that I learned from him.
Amazing, amazing. You know, Mr. Brown, we have so many people tuned in today because they're ready for you to let the cat out the bag about what does it take to just press through and become the you that you were born to be.
I think it takes 3 things. There are a variety of things, but I would drill deeply on 3 things. Number one, mindset transformation. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, in the book called The Miseducation of the Negro, he said, if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. He said, if you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. He'll go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. So helping people to learn the strategies on how to begin to restructure their thinking and overcome the psychic disrepair that has prevented us from achieving their goals. In fact, I'd like to encourage people that are listening to you now to go to lesbrownmotivation.com. And if they view those videos there for 90 days straight, it will change their mental blueprint. The second thing that's very important is you have to upgrade your relationships. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friend. You have to look at your relationship and ask the question, what are these relationships doing to me? Am I growing mentally, spiritually, financially? Am I a better person? Are they holding me accountable to a higher standard? Most people don't know. Your relationships rub off on you. There's a new term in psychiatry called relational illness. There's some people that can make you sick. They're just not good for you. They're bad for your health. And the third thing that's very important, Mr. Washington said to me, he said, Mr. Brown, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. I just completed speaking in 21 countries. And when I speak in these countries, when I speak outside of the United States, I charge $125,000 an hour. Just got requests this morning that I'm going to turn down because I'm not interested in speaking internationally anymore. At this stage of my life, I'm 70, and I don't look it, but I just don't like the jet lag when I get back. But one of the things that I learned that your ability to communicate changes your life. It's a passport to the world. And it's very important to get coaching from someone who's trained, who's accomplished, and who can see what you can't see and teach you how to tell your story so that you can become a voice of influence and impact people and be able to create income for yourself. The jobs that exist today, there's a new book that everybody should read called The Rise of the Robots. Over 30% of the jobs that we have today will be gone in less than 10 years. And those that are left, well, 67% of them will be permanent part-time jobs with no health benefits. So this is the time where you have to become entrepreneurial and put your money where your mouth is, because you have an energy signature that cannot be replaced by a robot, cannot be replaced by an app. You have an energy signature, and you have a spiritual tribe. There are certain people who, when you speak and the people that are with you, people are going to respond. And there are certain people, when I speak, they're going to respond. And so they're part of what I call our spiritual tribe. And when you begin to work to develop your communication skills, if you're involved in coaching, if you are an entrepreneur, you have a business, your business has a story. And you are the storyteller. You're the one to promote that. You're the one to tell the story about your business, to attract people, to inspire people to want to do business with you.
Amazing. Truly amazing. Mr. Brown, you gave us a lot. You got a lot of cat out the bags right then. So I just want to go back to one thing. You said it kind of quick. You mentioned the 90 days of people going to your website. Now that website, just so our listeners can be sure that they heard, you said that Les Brown Motivation. Say that one more.
LesBrownMotivation.com. There's some videos there, and I put them there purposely because when I heard the statistics that last year, according to the CDC, more people died from suicide in the United States than from traffic accidents. Now, we live in a country where people try to outswim sharks to get here, try and outrun a Jeep barefooted to get here. They see it as the land of opportunity. Yet and still, we have one of the highest rate of suicide in the world. And when you come to African American women, when I was a kid, it was unheard of African American women committing suicide, or African American men, and that has changed. And so the reason is that our minds are filled with head trash. We don't spend the time developing our minds and looking at what is it I need to do, what radical change do I need to make, what value can I bring that will allow me to have some value in the marketplace. Just imagine, here I am, 70 years old. If I went out and applied for a job, they would laugh at me and say, well, you want to work at Burger King and flip hamburgers or at Walmart? But if you call any speakers bureau in Australia, we want to book Les Brown, they'll tell you that's going to cost you $125,000 an hour. So that was deliberate. What I did was I watched in 1980 when I started. There was no such thing as an African American male speaking to corporations and motivating them on developing their leadership, improving their customer service. I didn't do it for 14 years because I didn't believe that I could compete with people who had PhDs and MBAs and college degrees, because I don't have any of that. But my mentor, Mike Williams, said, Brownie, I was a disc jockey at WVKO radio station in Columbus, Ohio. He said, Brownie, you can do this. I said, Mike, I don't have any college education. What can I talk to them about? He said, don't worry about that. Develop the skill. I can train you. He said, all of us are born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. You can learn. And he taught me. In fact, this book is called The Road to Your Best Stuff. I encourage everybody to get it on Amazon. He's been my mentor for over 40 years. Mike Williams, The Road to Your Best Stuff.
Okay, so you told us a couple of books. So that's Mike Williams, and that's The Road to Your Best Stuff?
Yes.
And then The Rise of the Robot.
It will transform your life.
Okay. I am still in awe because I'm receiving this information. Now, let me ask you, and we had a couple of people ask about meditation. If you could talk a little bit as far as meditation and how it relates to you. Is that something you do? Is it something you promote? How do you feel about meditation?
I do meditate, and I meditate twice a day, 20 minutes. It's very important particularly in your healing process. And I'm a 20-year cancer conqueror, and so it's something that it's mandatory for anybody that's dealing with a health challenge, because cancer is cells gone crazy. And so meditation, what it does, allows you to become centered and grounded and focus your mind and thoughts and create a sense of unity within yourself. Visualization is very important in achieving your goals. That I visualize myself being healthy. I affirm words. You have to watch your words. When I go for walks, I give thanks that I am healed, that my body is producing powerful white blood cells that kill quickly and permanently every renegade cancer cell that's in my body. And so through speaking positive words and holding a vision of what it is you want to manifest in your life, you increase the chances of doing that by 87%. Disciplining yourself, making it a ritual to visualize what it is you want, and calling forth those things that be not as though they were.
Yes. One of my favorite scriptures, and you just speak those things into existence. Sometimes, it's just about just talking yourself into what it is that you want for yourself. Let me ask you this, and I'm not saying it simply because I'm talking to you, Les, but I'm saying it because it's Mr. Brown. I'm sorry. Forgive me for being familiar with you, but I watch a lot of your videos, and you were even here in Chicago. Whew, I want to say it had to be at least, I'm going to go on a limb and say about 20 years ago. I went to
speak in Chicago quite frequently at Christ Universal Temple Church of Dr. Johnny Coleman. I went to the Johnny Coleman Institute, Universal Foundation for Better Living, but I spent a lot of time there, and I was on radio in Chicago when Elroy Smith was there. I had a radio program and broadcast on a regular basis. I love Chicago. It's an incredible city. Only in the summertime.
Well, nowadays you'll get confused about what the season.
I live downtown off Wells, and I'll never forget when I came home coming from a speaking engagement, and I told the driver, I said, "Go back to the airport." He said, "Did you leave some luggage?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you going to pick up someone?" I said, "No." He said, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm leaving. I'm moving." He said, "What about your belongings?" I said, "I can have my daughter or son to come get them." He said, "Where are you going?" And I flipped the coin. I said, "Heads or tails? Heads is California, tails is Florida." And it's tails. I said, "Florida it is." And so I'm down here. I live with Mickey Mouse. We were baptized together. So I was in Orlando. I just decided I didn't want to live in Chicago anymore after I saw, one day it was so cold, I saw Superman riding in a cab.
Wow, exactly. Now, Mr. Brown, we know you have an amazing event coming up, and I call it a private VIP event coming up in Orlando on September the 18th and the 19th. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect at that event?
I will teach people, and my daughter, she trains with me as well, how to take the steps necessary to become a professional speaker. When you say motivational speaker, that's a very narrow term. It's really professional because I speak for organizations, and I'm going to share with people what I did. We know about T.D. Jakes because of a keynote address he did called Woman Thou Art Loose. We know about the president because of the speech he gave to the Democratic Party. We know about Juanita Bynum, No More Sheets. We know about Dr. King, I Have a Dream, Malcolm X, By Any Means Necessary. People know me, Les Brown, You Gotta Be Hungry. And so what I'm going to do is teach people how to develop a keynote presentation that will give them the flexibility and versatility to use their story to speak to any kind of group, so that the audience, and this is very important, when you speak to an audience, people are asking three questions. Who are you? What do you have, and why should I care? And so the goal is to help them to learn how to deliver a keynote presentation, how to build that speech out so the audience, after leaving their presence, will feel better about themselves, but talking about them, because they use their message as a strategic tool to create a shift in the thinking of the people in the audience, individually and collectively. The reason why there are thousands of people who call themselves motivational speakers, and they never show up on the radar because they don't have any training, and they get too many compliments from people who won't write them a check and who have untrained eyes and don't know what they're looking at. You need to have someone who's experienced, who has accomplished, and who knows what to do, how you can get paid with your story so that you can go out and make an impact, because you have people out there waiting to hear you.
Yes. And let me ask this.
It takes place in Orlando. It's September the, what is it?
The 18th and 19th?
18th and 19th, yes. That's the last one that I'm going to do this year. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. But after doing this for so many years, I'm turning my business over to my kids and a few other speakers that I've trained. But this is going to be one that people should invest in themselves. And keep in mind, success is not convenient. You have to make room for it. If you're serious, if it's a calling on your life, if it's something that you've got to do. Yeah, I have got to speak. I was born to speak. And I think that it gives people a chance to earn money and become an entrepreneur and be their own boss. And just imagine making a living by making a difference in people's lives. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's what I do every day. I call my son, and this morning, my oldest son, and my youngest daughter, they run the company, and I said, I'm so proud of you, because I wanted to build a business that my children would be able to carry on, and my grandchildren. And so this is something that when you look into the future, that the communicators, President Barack Obama is in the White House, the most powerful man in the world, because he's a great communicator. Your ability to communicate, it gives you a passport to the world. I remember when Mrs. Clinton said, speech don't matter. Speech matters a great deal. In the beginning was the word. It matters, and we'll teach you how to master it so that you can be able to carve out a place for yourself in the marketplace. It is a $65 billion industry, and it's exploding. And we need women, and we need men, and people from all walks of life and all levels.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb because, as I speak to you, I hear that prophet that's in you. And I've heard it from the first time that you spoke to me over 20 years ago. You said some stuff to me that I will never forget. And you just spoke life into me, and I thank you for that. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to thank you in advance for being one of the coaches that has helped me, helped my team, and helped so many people in a network that I'm affiliated with being professional speakers. And I cannot wait till we do this amazing event here in Chicago. Now, I know this is your last one officially for this year in Orlando, but I just feel an amazing, a huge event coming to Chicago again. Now, I'm just speaking.
Well, you know what? I love Chicago. I'm open to that. It just won't happen in the winter because God doesn't be cold.
Okay, so I'm going to make sure I get my book and plan it on one of those days where we know you can.
You want to do that. I tell you, I lost 2 friends recently, and I had no idea that I would. And it taught me a lesson. Aurelia said, stop living like you have 1,000 years to live. I believe that life is broken down in 3 categories. When I thought about my friends and I eulogized these speakers, it's reasons, seasons and special moments. That you were born for a reason, to do something big. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm. So God had something in mind. There's something implanted in you that you're supposed to do. It's been said that the two most important days in our lives, the day that we're born and the day we realize why we're born. So you're here for a reason. Next thing is a season. You only have so much time to do it. One of the speakers was 61. One of the speakers was 28. We only have so much time to do it. So there's a reason for you to be here. You have a season. And the next thing is moments. Creating special moments with people that you love and finding ways in which you can leave the world in better shape than how you found it. I'm so appreciative and I'm so grateful that I'm a 20-year prostate cancer conqueror, 20 years. And I believe that I have been given grace because my work is not done yet. My best years are in front of me. And so I'm looking at and thinking about it as I was preparing to talk to you. What's next? That's what my granddaughter asked me, one of my granddaughters. What are you going to do next, Grandpa? Because I'm a grandfather and I'm a great-grandfather. And I said, well, I'm going to do some work in prisons to reduce the recidivism rate. I'm going to donate a series of audio and video programs and training programs in prisons all across the United States, if they will accept them. I teach them how to read, teach them how to develop their communication skills, and teach them how to develop the skill set to become entrepreneurs using current technology that will allow them not to have to go out and be rejected day in and day out and punished by society over and over again, but learn how to become their own boss using technology today that will teach them how to employ themselves and earn money.
Ah, breathtaking and so well needed. Wow. So my one of my last questions, and I got quite a few, but online, is there anything that you do like webinars or online in case maybe someone can't travel to Orlando, the dates and times just don't work for them?
I do. I'm going to start doing Skype training, on one-on-one Skype training, and people who are interested and want to invest in themselves and get some coaching around that, they can email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. lesbrown77@gmail.com. I want to say this. When you think about the fact if that immigrants who come to this country have a 4-time greater chance of buying a home, owning their own business, and becoming a millionaire than the average American. Just think about that. Can't speak the language, don't know the culture, don't know the system. Have a 4-time, not 1, 2, 3, 4-time greater chance. Why? And this is major, because they have an achievement-driven mindset. And so my goal is, before leaving the planet, my legacy will be, 1, helping our people to develop an achievement-driven mindset. 2, learn the skills that will allow them to become a member of the 1%ers. And 3, teach them how to create collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships so that you can live your dream. You can't make it by yourself. 72% of corporations are striking strategic partnerships. You have people in that studio with you right now that you have the same value. You believe in each other. You support each other. And it's a community of coming together and raising the consciousness of people that are listening to you right now. And that's what's required. The reason that most people are not successful is because they're surrounded by too many toxic, negative, energy-draining relationships. We have an entertainment-driven culture. You had Jay-Z and Beyonce somewhere for a concert. People will pay any amount of money, $200 or $300 for the tickets. But if you had me at an event, that's not going to happen. When I went to Poland, They had 25,000 people in Poland chanting, Les Brown, Les Brown, Les Brown. 25,000 people in a stadium. And I cried. They thought I was crying because I was overwhelmed with their reception. I was crying because I said, oh God, I wish I could do this for my own people. If I could just share with them what I'm about to share today. But you don't know. You have no idea who you're supposed to reach. You don't know. They don't look like you. They don't speak the same language. You don't know. I remember when I spoke in Hong Kong, and these Asians passed me, and they just nodded and put their hands over their heart and said, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And I asked the promoter, why were they crying when I was speaking? And she said, you said we have greatness within us. We don't have that kind of affirmation in our culture. And you said it in such a way, we knew that you believed it. And the tears were tears of gratitude. Thank you for seeing that in us. It was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Yes. You know, my smile on my face is going to be permanent because, you know, I listen to you and you speak often about, you know, I have greatness within me and greatness. And, you know, I have 5 girls. One of them 4 years old and one is 10. And if you ask them who they are, they will tell you things like, I'm a champion. I am great, and I'm constantly getting greater. And I thank you for that because, you know, that's just the truth. People say, hey, Vera, how are you? And I say, I'm great, and I'm getting greater. I'm just constantly getting better and better each moment, each day. And thank you. And I wouldn't have known to say that if I didn't listen to videos and get on conference calls that you've been a part of. So those are things that we as a people need. We need more, you know, just little conference calls that they can click in and say, hey, Les Brown is here. If you're hungry, come and get a little bit of this, even if it's just 15 minutes of Les Brown. Understanding who you are. You mentioned doing personal Skype. You know, people can't afford not to tune in to find out who they are. So I know sometimes you just have to just sit back and look out in the stars at the universe and smile because of the many people that you've touched. Some you can talk to, some you can't. But I'm personally thanking you for being great, and you're constantly getting greater, and you're looking good doing it as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't look 70 because I use mascara to cover my gray. There's no shame in my game at all, you know. Daddy, you look distinguished with your gray hair. I said, at 70, I'm not trying to look distinguished. I'm trying to look young.
So just to kind of sum things up, there will be a link that our listeners can go to tap right into to buy those tickets for the event in Orlando on September the 18th and the 19th. If for some reason you just want to call in, you can dial in. Let me give that number. The number you can actually call in and speak to someone about purchasing tickets is area code 561-320-8065. Again, that phone number is 561-320-8065. And just for listening to the Cats Out show, if you happen to call that number, if you mention that you listen to the Cats Out show, there will be a special little scholarship discount that you will receive just for tuning in. And we're thanking you for offering that to us, Mr. Brown.
My pleasure.
Yes, another phone number where you can reach me directly if you have any questions or you need help and my assistance. I'm happy to do that. It's Vera Giles Norris. You can reach me at area code 708 743-6970. Again, that phone number is 708-743-6970. Mr. Brown, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to toss the ball right into your lap. I want you again to just kind of close and speak to our listeners. Tell them whatever comes to your heart. The ball is in your court.
You have something special. You have greatness within you. And you owe it to yourself and all of us to develop that greatness. In order to develop it, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. And as you look at yourself, something my mother loved, God took that out of my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. She would say, Leslie, and I said, yes, ma'am, Mama. Say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. And I dedicate this to you, to your dream, and the greatness that is in you. And it's just simply this. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your fear of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness of pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy and Vera's pride and joy. God bless you and God bless your dream. You've got greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you again. And you make sure you have you a perfect day, and you do it on purpose, okay?
Most certainly. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye now.
All right, it's the cat's out on intellectualradio.com, and we just let the cat out the bag. We'll be right back with closing remarks. Don't touch that dial.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams, the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues, so many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say.
Welcome back. It's the cat's out on intellectualradio.com, and for some reason we great. We got greatness within us.
Yes.
And we just keep getting greater and greater and
great
better and betterer. You know what? We're just going to wrap it up real fast. Thank you. We want to send a special thank you to Mr. Brown, Les Brown, for coming to the show today and speaking to our listeners. We love you. Thank you. And we just want to give that email again. If you're interested in doing a Skype with Mr. Brown, make sure you go to les77 at gmail.com, and you can do some one-on-one Skype. Make sure you mention that you heard from him on the Cats Out show. Do a meow for Les Brown. Also, we want to bring you up to date with the event. We said in Orlando, Florida, that event is on September the 18th and 19th. Make your way, press your way, get there. This is a private event, roughly going to be about 150 people at this event. You want to be in the presence of Mr. Brown. Another phone number, just in case you have additional questions, you want to reach, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to reach out and dial 561-3 561-320-8065. Again, that phone number is 561-320-8065. And then that email address to reach, it's lesbrown77@gmail.com. So again, that's lesbrown77@gmail.com. Thank you. It's the Cats Out on intellectualradio.com. You better come back next week, because we're going to keep on getting greater and better at the same time. Meow.